What's good, y'all? This your boy Blak G 92. Now, for this afternoon, I'm going to do a reaction to a video posted by Horror Nights about 6 years ago titled 5 Creepy and Disturbing True Christmas Horror Stories. Shout out to, let me look up the person's name, because I be getting motherfuckers' names all twisted up sometimes. And what's the name? Luisa Mendez, if that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, shout out to you for giving this video to react to. I'm gonna go ahead and see what this video is looking like in about 3, 2, 1.
Horror Nights presents 5 creepy and disturbing true Christmas horror stories. Number 5.
What's number 5?
Christmas morning at the Espositos.
Espositos.
On Christmas morning 2003 in Denver, Colorado, sisters Shauna and Sheena Esposito, who were 10 and 11 years old respectively, were excited as they ran to the living room and saw that there were lots of presents under the tree.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Parents, Mark and Jessica, slowly roused and met the girls in the living room. Jessica, who had wrapped all of the presents and placed them under the tree, didn't recognize one of the gifts. The wrapping was in sharp contrast to the rest of the festively decorated gifts. There was a box wrapped in black paper and tied with a large ribbon.
Oh.
Jessica just assumed that it was a gift from Mark for the girls. Shauna read the tag, and it indicated that it was for the entire family.
Oh.
So Jessica told the girls to open it.
Oh.
They removed the black ribbon, and Sheena pulled the lid off the box, and both girls looked in. Sheena was confused and asked, "What is it?" Then they both started screaming, and the overwhelming smell of death hit Mark and Jessica. Jessica rushed to the box and looked inside. It was the body of their cat, and it had been dismembered. Wow. The family ran.
Wow. So I guess if someone dismembered a cat and put it in the Christmas, wrapped up as a Christmas present. That is sick. I'm gonna let Fish play
the
though.
house and called the police. When the police arrived, they found out that someone had broken into the house through a basement window. In the unfinished basement, the intruder killed the cat, dismembered it, put it in the box that he or she brought with them, tied the bow, and then left it under the tree.
Why would someone kill the innocent cat?
The cat in the box, the home invader also wrote, "Merry Christmas," in the cat's blood on the basement floor.
Wow.
After the break-in and the death of their cat, the Espositos sold their house.
That poor cat.
Whereabouts unknown. Number 4. The Santa Claus murder.
Oh, who murdered Santa
December
Claus?
20, 1986 was a busy Saturday morning at the Burlington Mall in Boston, Massachusetts.
Burlington.
People
That'd be the
lined
spot.
up for hours to see the mall's Santa Claus. By 10:30 a.m., there were over 100 people in line. That is when the people in line caught an odd sight. Walking by them was an elderly man with a dirty white beard, wearing a filthy Santa suit and carrying a red sack over his shoulder. The kids called out to him, but the dirty Santa didn't pay any attention.
Damn.
As the man neared Santa's village, he stepped over the ropes that blocked off the area, and he walked directly towards Ronald Sampson, who had been the mall's Santa for the past 3 years. As the man approached, Sampson was holding a 4-year-old on his knee as his parents took pictures. As the dirty Santa got near Sampson, he pulled a shotgun out of his sack. Before anyone could react, the Santa pointed the gun inches from Sampson's face and pulled the trigger.
Wow.
Sampson's head exploded against the back of his Santa chair, and everyone started screaming. Then the dirty Santa put the shotgun under his chin and, using his thumb, pulled the trigger. The force of the shot completely obliterated his face.
Woo!
The mall was thrown into complete pandemonium
I
as
bet.
people picked up their children and ran for the doors. Dozens of people were hurt in the dash, but luckily, no one was killed. The police were called in, and they searched the dirty Santa's body, but he had no identification on him. From there, the police tried to track down the identity of the killer, but it was hard because he didn't have a face.
Yeah.
Also, his fingerprints didn't turn up any matches, and his body didn't match any missing persons reports. Police looked into people who may have harbored hard feelings towards the mall or Sampson, but again, it turned up nothing. The real identity of the killer Santa and why he murdered Ronald Sampson in cold blood remains a mystery.
Those type of stories, man, are very disturbing as well, because the fact that no one really knows what may motivate the dirty Santa to shoot Samson, like, it just leaves you wondering, like, what could have happened, what may have transpired prior to that. And plus, I know those kids probably were probably traumatized for the rest of their lives seeing that happen in front of them. Like, and there was a 4-year-old kid sitting on the lap of Samson before his head was blown off. That is insane. I know that kid was traumatized, had to go to therapy and everything. Just being so close to a shotgun blast, that is insane. But, whew.
Number 3. The Christmas Movie.
Christmas movie.
On Christmas morning, 1980, Dwayne Swanson of Oak Brook, Illinois, was the first to open his present. It was an 8mm camera, and he used it for the first time to record his family opening their presents.
Okay.
And he used it to record other family events throughout the day. On January 15, Swanson took the film to the local photography store to get it developed, and in turn, they sent the film to a film processing lab just outside of Chicago. A week later, Swanson picked up the film and took it home. His family, which consisted of his wife and 3 children who ranged in age from 7 to 12, had decided to have a pizza party and watch the movie.
Okay.
The children had never seen themselves on film before, and they were excited. They were all seated in front of the projector, and as the movie rolled, the family immediately did not recognize the home in the video. Then the camera moved to a family of 4, a father, mother, and 2 teenage sons, and they were all tied to chairs, blindfolded and gagged. It shocked the Swansons, and Dwayne got up to turn off the projector. However, before he could, a man wearing a balaclava walked up behind the members of the family, took out a handgun, and shot the father in the back of the head. A hole appeared in his forehead, and blood poured out. He slumped down and urinated himself. At that point, Dwayne finally got to the projector, turned it off, but it was too late. His children had seen too much, and they were screaming. The Swansons immediately called the police, and they took the film as evidence. They were able to match the video to a quadruple murder of the Jansen family that happened in Chicago about a week prior. It's believed that it was committed by a biker gang because the family was related to someone who planned on testifying against the gang. The police tried to trace the owner of the film, but it's believed that one of the workers at the film processing laboratory developed the film off the books and got the murder film mixed up with the Swansons' family Christmas film. Unfortunately, the murder of the Jensens has never been solved.
Damn.
Number
So it
2,
is.
the disappearance.
So I'm guessing the people that may have committed that crime is still walking around free to this day. Man, world's a crazy place, I tell you.
Eric Wallace. On Christmas morning, 1973, it was warm in the early morning hours in Gainesville, Florida. 6-year-old Jillian Wallace awoke to someone throwing pebbles at her window on the 2nd floor of her house. She looked out and saw a man dressed as Santa Claus, holding a red sack outside of her window. He made a shushing motion by pressing his finger to his lips, and Jillian copied the man. Quietly enough not to wake anyone else, Santa told Jillian he slipped off the roof, and he asked her to quietly come downstairs and let him into the house. Jillian did as she was asked, and when Santa was in the house,
this won't turn out good.
he asked her to show him to her brother's room, 4-year-old Michael Wallace. He said that he was just going to make sure he was asleep before leaving them lots of presents. He also told Jillian that she should go to sleep, or he wouldn't leave anything. Jillian did as she was told and went to bed. She tried to listen for the reindeer on the roof, but she soon fell asleep. Jillian awoke the next morning to her mother screaming. Her brother was gone. Wow. The police were called, and Jillian told them about how she let Santa into the house. They questioned her for hours, but all she could tell them was that it was a man dressed like Santa. Jillian soon understood that the man she let into the house was not Santa Claus, and that the man stole her brother. As the days turned into weeks, which turned into months, Michael still hadn't been found.
Damn.
And Jillian was becoming more withdrawn, and she stopped talking completely. Her family was concerned, and she was taken to a psychiatrist. After a few sessions, the psychiatrist was incredibly concerned about the girl and thought that she needed around-the-clock help, at least for a little while. In December 1974, Michael still had not been found, and Jillian had spent 8 months on the children's ward at the hospital. On December 15, a local volunteer, Randy Boyden, came to visit the children in the hospital, and he was dressed as Santa Claus. Originally, the plan was to keep Jillian away from Boyden, but she seemed to be fascinated by him, so they slowly let her get closer and closer. Then Boyden turned and beamed a bright smile at her. "Hello there," he said to Jillian. "Would you like to sit on my lap?" Jillian nodded her head, and the doctors were astonished. They thought it was a breakthrough, so they let the girl move closer. Jillian climbed onto Boyden's lap, and he said, "What do you want for Christmas?" Jillian said, "My brother." And there was an audible gasp from the staff. "Is he at home with Mommy and Daddy?" Boyden asked. "You took him," Jillian said. "I took him?" Boyden asked with a confused look on his face. Without warning, Jillian moved her face close to Boyden's and bit his nose.
Oh.
He screamed, and the staff ran towards them. Jillian latched on, and the harder Boyden screamed, the harder Jillian bit down.
Damn.
When they did finally pull her off, Jillian had bitten through the nose, and she spit it out of her mouth. Boyden was writhing on the ground, screaming in agony. Unfortunately, the doctors were not able to reattach Boyden's nose.
Damn.
And he was permanently disfigured. Police looked into the possibility of Boyden as the one who kidnapped Michael Wallace, but they confirmed that he was in a different city at the time of the kidnapping.
It's the wrong one.
Of Michael Wallace and the identity of the man who kidnapped him have never been solved.
Damn.
To this day, Jillian is still in a psychiatric hospital. Number 1.
That poor girl. Man, I can't imagine going through something like that, man. Yeah.
The Hill family dinner. On Christmas afternoon, 1951, Joan Hill of Cleveland, Ohio, hosted her in-laws for Christmas dinner. When they arrived, they were surprised to see that Joan's husband, Jake, wasn't there. Joan said that Jake, who fixes furnaces, was called out to an emergency, and he would be home shortly. Jake also said to eat without him if he wasn't home by 5. Jake's family, which consisted of his parents, his sister, brother, and their spouses, hung around, sipping cocktails over the next hour. At 5, there was no sign of Jake, so they all sat down and ate the ham that Joan had baked. Everyone was in a good mood, and the ham tasted great.
I
But
bet.
it was a little unusual because it tasted sweet. The family stuck around for a couple of hours after the dinner. but Jake didn't show up or call. They all decided it was best to go, and they would talk to Jake tomorrow. That is when Jake's dad, Gordon, realized that he had let Jake borrow a circular saw, and he needed it at home. So he went to the garage to get it. Joan tried to stop him, but Gordon wouldn't listen and opened the door. In the garage, Gordon saw what looked like a slaughtered animal, but then he realized it wasn't an animal. It was his son, Jake. Gordon was thrown out of his shock by the loud pop of a gunshot and the screaming of his wife. He ran to the kitchen and found Joan dead on the floor. She had shot herself in the head. Gordon got his family out of the house and then went to the neighbors where they phoned the police. Gordon also broke the news to his family that Jake was dead as well. The police investigation concluded that Jake had been killed earlier in the morning. He had been shot once in the back of the head.
Damn.
And then he was mutilated. The most horrifying find was that the ham that Jake's family ate wasn't pork at all. It was Jake's buttocks.
Wow.
Subscribe for more.
That is a strange twist. And so they never found the identity of the killer? Damn. Talk about literal ass eating. But quite the gruesome stories, man, and shows you how the real world can be a very scary place, man, if you're not careful. Let me read the comment section. Currently listening to this off my phone, writing a book. How low he sits at 7 a.m, running on 0 sleep. Every story has a past. Most gruesome stories ever. The kids didn't have a chance to live their lives like they should. The cat, poor thing. Hope she is at peace. The girl Jillian, was it? Yeah. I was just thinking about that too. This comment, like that girl Jillian, was it? She's probably experiencing severe self-blame and trust issues. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Like severe trust issues and like self-blame, and just crippled her. I was more so just in shock about everything, man. But how like these stories end up happening like near the end, and find out that most of the killers, most of the people that commit these crimes are gotten away with it, or the person's still missing. In the case of Mike Wallace, like still missing to this day, man. But hey, be sure to send me more like videos from Horror Nights. I'm interested in seeing more of like this type of content on the channel. And if you want me to react to any sort of countdowns, movie clips, movie trailers, songs, music videos, etc., post them in the comment section below. And if it's your first time watching this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned what I have in store. And also be sure to follow me on my social media accounts, post in the description box below, and donate to the Cash App account if you're able to help support your boy with this channel. This is your boy Blak G92, about to sign off. Holla at your boy. Peace.